Hello and welcome everyone to the new and not improved For the Geeks podcast for Thursday, April? Whatever day it is. August 25th for 2022. I am one of your hosts, Jonathan Miranda, and with me today is Chris Seeger. How you doing, Seeger?
What's up, y'all? Doing pretty good today. How are you?
I am swell. I got to meet the CEO of the company I work for today, so that was fancy.
Oh, that's right. That's cool. I get to meet the CEO once a week because he's in a small building. That's the building of my job. 100 people in my job. But not like you, big corporation.
Yeah, it's surprising. I can't say legally who and where I work at, but it was pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you. So today, this is our formal and inaugural episode after our rebranding. And moving forward, all of our content will be branded as FTG for the Geeks. How does everyone feel about the new name? Everyone as in you.
I'm the one who came up with it, so yeah, it's great.
You said, well, it started with For the Gamers,
For the Geeks. Yeah,
and then you were like, let's do For the Geeks. So it was 50-50.
Encompass everything under the geek umbrella, so I came up with it. Just like I did the logo, just like I did the intro part of this video. Yep. Yeah, so, you know.
It helps to have somebody who knows how to work effects in Premiere.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we're going to have an anime-themed episode because last week we couldn't stop talking about anime for some fucking reason. Right. So, as we called it up, it's... No hentai. Not today. Okay. Not this one. Man. Maybe later. Not now.
Oh, well.
We'll be talking about a few different things today, but mainly we're going to be talking about the FTG top 5 anime of all time list. And trust me, this is going to be even more difficult than I thought it was going to originally be because there's only 2 of us. So now both of us have to agree on the ranking system. I was originally going to say it has to be majority vote, but because there's only 2 of us, there's no such thing as a majority vote unless we both agree. So
True.
That might take a little extra time. Mm-hmm. But we're going to do our best to consolidate ourselves as well as we can. And, if I may... There we go. Turn that off. All right. Sorry. Tiny, slight technical difficulty there at the end. I was trying to figure out why I heard my voice all the time. I was like, I don't know. I'm confused. I'm scared. Help me.
I wouldn't know either.
So, let's see. Where are we going to start this one out today? For those of you that are watching live. Oh, wait. No one's watching live. We're recording this really late. Sorry. Duh.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
For those of you watching later. For those of you watching later, if you enjoyed the episode, please drop a like. Leave a comment, let us know what you thought about it, and subscribe to the channel. You can check our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, our Instagram and Twitter pages, all through the Linktree app, or through the Linktree that we have posted ever so nicely for you right down there in the description. So check that out, and it'll be doing us a big favor. We wholeheartedly appreciate all of your patronage. For now, let's get on to the show. Because I have been lagging and trying to fix things for like 30 minutes, and I'm pretty sure if Seeger could punch me through a camera, he would do it.
Yes, and your audio randomly cuts out through Discord, but yeah.
Oh, well, fuck it. Discord, fix your stuff, man. Fix it. Fix it right.
For non-Nitro people.
For non-Nitro. Oh, yeah, that's right. I gotta do that. I gotta put Nitro on the Discord. That's what I gotta do. Thanks for reminding me.
Pump it up.
Bump. Oh, nope. I don't want to get a DMCA for that.
Wow. No.
All right. We're going to start with our first topic of conversation. What anime do you think has the best animation? Sniffles. Go ahead. You're going to start this one on first.
Of course. I mean, that's why you pointed to me. So, if I think about it, there's a couple that I deem beautiful graphics and flawless animation. Right off the top of my head, the Fate series. Like, my first Fate show was Fate Zero. That's the one. That's the main story that starts off everything and leads into Unlimited Blade Works. Without Fate Stay Night retelling it. But when I watched it, I thought it was extremely beautiful. They do great jobs on all the fight scenes, all the graphics. Everything is just completely flawless. And then I saw Unlimited Blade Works, they took it to a whole other level with, they knew how to blend in CGI perfectly to where it doesn't piss off the viewer like fucking Berserk 2016 and 2017. The most disgusting animation I've ever fucking seen. I could piss on concrete and it would look better than that. I'd rather not, though. I'd go to jail.
We don't talk about that Berserk.
I know.
We deny its existence.
Albeit the story is accurate, apparently, but the animation is garbage. But that's not what we're here about. The Fate series is great. And then I even watched Fate Apocrypha. I don't know how to say that. I saw the side story, alternate universe one, and even that was fucking spectacular. The battles, you could watch it and feel the power between the who were those characters? It was the Saber of red and Saber of blue or whatnot. Both those characters, the night-based characters, fighting each other. You could feel the gravity of their attacks. It was fucking phenomenal. I thought, the Fate series always on top of their fucking animation. So that's one. Number two, I'd actually have to go with Fire Force. Fire Force has some really beautiful visuals for fire and the flow. Like, they know how to do, like, for me, what really blends together animation is is kind of like how they do it in Kill la Kill, where when you stretch out stuff over a frame, it just looks smooth, seamless, and it doesn't look low quality. So whenever they have like an attack coming from one side of the frame to the other, it looks really good. It doesn't look bad like how Dragon Ball does, because they'll cut corners, or how Naruto cuts corners in certain episodes, like that Pain meme picture of him looking all ugly and whatnot.
I'm gonna put that one to, like, he just got punched so hard the good looking got punched out of him. That's all I can say. When you gotta cut a corner, you gotta cut a corner.
So Fire Force, really good with all the visuals and the VFX. And then for the third one, I'm just going to pick a third one. Even though I hate it because I hate the main character, it's done so successful and it's so unique because I've never seen a style like it. Demon Slayer. I've never seen an anime that knows how to use hard black lines as outlines and actually put that on screen and stick out. Because when I first saw Tanjiro do water breathing style, I was like, what the fuck? This artwork looks fantastic.
Oh, most definitely.
Like, it was beautiful. And then I saw you can correct me, I don't know his name, the fucking sleepy kid. Zenitsu something. Yeah, Zenitsu. He, when he knocks out and then he does his lightning technique, I was like, holy shit.
Best character in that whole anime.
The way the anime, like the animation looks, it's like if you went really hard, just drawing black outlines and you just colored it in. Usually that's like frowned upon because you're not supposed to have super dark outlines. But this is the art style and it fucking works. So hats off to them, even though I don't like the story and the character Tanjiro. The animation's amazing. So
fair enough.
Now you.
No. You gave me 3 answers. You're supposed to pick the one that has the best animation.
Those are the best animation.
Of those 3, which one has the best for you?
The Fate series. The Fate series.
All right,
I really like the Fate series over the other 2.
That's fair. The animation in Fate was beautifully done. Unlimited Blade Works was a marvel of its time, and it's just super gorgeous to watch. No matter what it is, if it's just even the basic scenes where they're talking to each other in the living room or in the chapel or anywhere, when they're just doing basic stuff, or when they're in the middle of these massive fights, it always looks good. It always looks clean and it's smooth. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing for me. So, all right, I hear you on that. If I had to choose one, I'm gonna have to go ahead and throw this out there, and we're gonna have to revisit this anime later, obviously. But I'm putting forth Cowboy Bebop as best animation. The animation style in that anime for its time was just phenomenal. Like, there was a smoothness and emotion to each character that made them feel alive. The way that Spike kind of just hobbles down when he's walking around places, his little saunters, even the way that they move in zero gravity, it looks and feels like you're there. Like, it looks to replicate what you've got in those scenes, and you can feel the same way that those characters would feel. Animation wise, when you're in the fights, everything is quick, smooth. It gives you that feeling of fluidity that in combat that Spike, garners, that ferocity that he has. So even in the and then in the spaceship scenes, they just look good for having quick cuts and not having like elongated like scenes with single shots of the fighters. Like you feel the intensity and the action in those. So
yeah,
I'm definitely thinking for me the best animation would have to be that.
I kind of do miss the animation style of the 90s. I know a lot of fans agree with me of anime.
Yeah.
For example, like the comparison between, let's go with Dragon Ball Z versus Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super, don't get me wrong, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's too clean.
Yeah.
That's one of the selling factors of Dragon Ball Super Broly movie is because they used a different animation style. They tried to touch back on their 90s roots and make it a little gritty, nice, flat tone colors, not so much rounding off, trying to pop it out of the background. They use, their old color palettes and whatnot. And that also ties into another 90s one that I like, besides Rurouni Kenshin, get into that later, Gundam Wing. Like, the Gundam anime from back then were really well done with the animation, just like, Cowboy Bebop. So, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, those were great. Now, I'm going to hit you with a curveball real quick.
Oh?
Here's your curveball. Okay. What anime has the worst animation for you?
I already said it.
Wait, when?
Berserk 2016
really?
and 17. Dude, it's terrible. That's
You're gonna go with that.
How you do CGI.
It's
CGI.
It's
right. Either you go full CGI, like Dragon Ball Superhero that apparently made over $20 million already. Congrats to that. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't care about Gohan and Piccolo, but good for them. But Vegeta's my man, and so is Broly. But anywho, point is, that's how you do CGI, full CGI, or you do minimal CGI, where it's like the background and it's blended in. You can't really notice it because it's not the focus. When you have Guts, CGI character, and then you just decide to color him in with cross-hatching, it looks like shit. Like, cross-hatching is the worst style of shading you could possibly do for an anime. Like you're just drawing a bunch of lines in this direction and then in this direction for shading. I learned that in college and I'm like, I fucking hate this style. I would never use it. Because usually you just blend in with your fingers and use the oil to make the blacks blend together for a shadow or whatnot. So Berserk, it's terrible. I couldn't stand it. On top of hearing the frying pan noise, it just, it got out of hand for me. Twang, twang. It's like, what the fuck? Is his sword hollow? The fuck?
To be fair, his sword is just a giant piece of metal.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that fucking hollow, though, if you're going to cut through demons. It should be solid steel or iron, whatever the fuck it's made out of. If it's hollow, it's not going to cut through things. Carbon? They don't have carbon in there. Well, technically to make life, but, whatever. Yeah. What about you? Oh. What do you think is the worst?
Whoops.
Animation.
I clicked the wrong button. Sorry about that. We're going to have to pretend like that didn't happen. Worst animation, honestly. Okay. 7 Deadly Sins, third season. Third season? Was it the third? Yeah.
Which arc was that?
That was the arc where Meliodas gets his first demon form shown. Remember that infamous scene where he was laying in the bed and he just looks like a little, very sadly drawn pancake?
Yeah.
That was terrible. That was probably the worst in my recent history. I'm trying to think of other old ones, but you go back so far and try to compare old animation to new animation, and you start seeing so much when it comes to the quality of animation and where it's gotten to.
Mm-hmm.
So the only fair thing to do is to say that, mainly because most of the older anime didn't have the best animation in the world. I grew up on Inuyasha. I love Inuyasha, but I went back and watched some episodes, and it just did not look that great. The action scenes seem stale, if that makes sense. Their motions just seem very prolonged? Dragged out.
Okay, dragged out.
So Inuyasha throws a claw, and then the claw goes with him, and his body just kind of moves forward with the lines or whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
look that great.
I
But
never actually got into Inuyasha.
you
I
know,
tried to, but
it was
wasn't my thing.
it was a decent story. But if you weren't into it for the Inuyasha Kagome romance, then most of the
Nope.
story was going to go out of the window. And don't get me wrong, like the overarching storyline in the anime was good, but it was very much a teenage drama kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I digress. So there we go. Worst animations, huh?
I forgot I watched Seven Deadly Sins. I still need I watched
Have you
all the
finished it?
seasons. Hey, wait, it's done?
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, I don't know
wait,
what
actually, I
no, it's
don't
not
know.
done.
I think there's
I've
one
watched
more
like
season coming.
I've watched like 5 seasons. I watched all the way up until the angels came down to the planet. And then yeah, I don't remember what else. I think that's season 5.
So
I'm
you
pretty sure
got
that's season 5.
through the flashbacks, right?
Yes. I got through all the flashbacks and the angels were there
Have they?
and stuff.
What happened at
I
the
don't
end of the
remember.
season when you watched it?
I'd have to look it up right
Ah.
now because I don't remember.
What happened to Bond at the end of the season when you watched it?
Again, I have to look
You
it
don't
up. I
remember?
don't remember. Dude, I watched this shit in COVID. I don't fucking remember.
That's fair. It was a rough
It was
time
a
for
lot. It was
everybody.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Well, there was a newer season that came out, and it should be the end of the series. Because from where they ended that season that I believe you watched, there was not much story left. The manga had finished like, I want to say like maybe 2019, 2020.
Okay.
So they really didn't have that much more story to go on. Even the very last arc, which is like 5 chapters, was
I did not
unnecessary.
see season 5. I'm looking at it right now. Actually,
Ah,
I only saw the end of I saw season 4, which was Wrath of the Gods. Season
yeah,
5 is Dragon's Judgment. I haven't
yes,
seen any of that, so I need to watch it
yeah,
and at least finish it.
definitely. Give it a shot. I know the animation got better. I know that in the beginning of season 4, the animation was a fucked up thing because they replaced blood with that white goop.
Oh yeah,
You remember that?
Heat.
Yeah, I was more upset about it than I thought I would be. When I watched the episodes, I was like, "This is bullshit."
Censoring is unnecessary in this day and age.
Yeah,
with that, but they're gonna do it anyway because they don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Well, here's your chance, Seeger. Here's your chance to plug somebody onto something that you think they should be doing. What's an anime or manga that people should be paying attention to right now? Doesn't have to be current, but what's something, maybe a hidden gem you have that you think people should watch?
You know what? Now I think about it, and I've talked about every time I talk about it, nobody knows what the fuck it is. Gungrave.
Oh.
I never played the game. I know the anime is based on the game, but I never played it. I just randomly stumbled upon it when I found a dub website a long time ago, and I was going through anime, seeing what I wanted to watch, and I'm like, oh, okay, this has a cool title, and I started watching it, and it's like, it's the story. If you're into how do I explain? If you're into best friends that have a good connection, and then they fall apart and revenge plots and all that between said best friendship, then this is the anime for you, except there's a lot of killing involved and crime. So I thought it was really neat because I do like stories like that where you have two dudes who they cross paths, they become the bestest of friends, they climb the top, and then one of them takes the top and the other one starts to see that the one at the top is changing and he doesn't like it and he goes his own separate way. The guy at the top gets pissed off and then he wants to go kill the other guy because, of whatever reason he's corrupted and shit. And he's like, I want to get rid of all my loose ends in the past. That's why I like the series, because it has that kind of story. It's corny, but it is a very unheard of anime series, even though a new game is coming out.
That's right.
Gungrave. And then another one.
The first half of that, I was gonna be like, "Oh, so you're talking about this plot of Naruto?" It's basically the plot of Naruto.
That's why I hated Naruto, because it's just, Sasuke, come back. No, fuck you, Naruto.
There were a lot of other things in the series as it went on. Honestly, it is one of my more liked animes of time, but it's not in my It doesn't make top 3.
No, me either. And too many people are telling me that it's a great anime. It's not. Like, even to me, I prefer Dragon Ball over Naruto for a various amount of reasons. But the other anime I was going to say is actually a movie. I can't fucking ever remember what the name is. But the premise, this actually would have tied into the animation style earlier, that topic. But I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's really hard for me to find it until it pops up in my head. But the premise is, it takes place in Japan, modern day Japan. There's a kid playing a computer game.
Okay.
He's like in a virtual world on his computer, and then he's like the top fighter in the world as his avatar. He's like a bunny avatar, and he comes across a new challenger, kicks his ass, but then the new challenger starts to absorb all the other avatars and take over the computer world. And it turns out it's a rogue AI that is connected to nuclear warheads outside in the real world and is threatening to blow up the planet just for fun. So I don't know what the fucking anime is called, but that's another really unheard of one. I really need to find it. What it's called, yeah.
I tried to look for it right now and I couldn't find it.
Me too. Anime with video game bunny avatar.
Summer Wars?
Summer Wars.
Really?
That's what it's called.
Holy shit.
That's the one. Like, I can even give... This came out in 2009. It has really pretty animation. It does a lot of... instead of black outlines on some of the characters, they actually use red, which makes it look completely different than normal anime. So this is a cool movie to check out just for fun.
It's by Madhouse, too. Madhouse is a good studio.
No idea who they are, but yeah.
They are... I believe they did Ergo Proxy. No. That was somebody else.
They did Beyblade. They did fucking Beyblade.
Did they?
Chobits. Yeah.
Oh,
Ninja Scroll. Ninja Scroll.
They did
Naruto before Naruto.
They did Bitsune. You ever watch that?
I don't know what that is. No.
Parasite the Maxim?
No. Oh,
what?
They animated Gungrave, of course.
You've never watched Parasite the Maxim?
No, there's a lot of anime I haven't seen.
Oh,
I told you that.
That's a good one. They do Overlord.
Okay, so that's banging. I mean, my Lord and Savior is the main character of Overlord. So, yeah.
Madhouse does a lot of stuff. They did Death Parade. What else did
Maple Story.
There was a Maple
Black
Story
Lagoon. I guess. That's what Wikipedia is saying. Hunter x Hunter. Yeah, they did Hunter x Hunter. Okay, so they're big.
Yeah, they're big.
They're big. So big.
Chihayafuru. God, I'm bad at those long names. They did High School of the Dead. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's a great anime. Oops. Man, I am just bad at clicking things. I have too many tabs open.
Well, me too. I have 50. None of them are porn, so that's a good thing.
Wow. Yeah,
I said none of them
to pop up on the camera.
No, it's because I'm not sharing my screen, dumbass. I'm sharing my fucking camera. Anyway, what about you?
You got Summer Wars? Summer Wars and Gungrave.
Summer Wars and Gungrave. Those are ones that I just really recommend people should watch. They're pretty good.
All right. I got 3 right now at the top of my head that I want to talk about.
Your shiny head?
The first one is going to be something that's brand new. Something that most people probably don't know about yet. But if you're not reading this manga right now, you need to get on it because it's going to blow up just as much as its predecessor did. And that is a manga by the name of Yomi no Tsugai. Yomi no Tsugai is basically about these twins that grew up on a mountain village. They live in it's how do you explain it? It's like rural, so like old-timey Japan, farm stuff, hunters, things like that. So one day the sister's like the village shrine maiden or whatever, and one day the brother goes out to hunt. He goes out to hunt this dude, and they're just going around. All of a sudden, the guy's like, what's going on? Basically, they get invaded by people with guns and helicopters and all sorts of modern stuff. And he fights back, kills a bunch of people, and then comes to see his sister's murdered by somebody claiming to be his actual sister. This manga is actually created by the lady who did Full Metal Alchemist. So the art style's right there. You can see it in the way that she draws her eyes and faces, all that stuff. And it's awesome. It's so cool. It's basically these people have these special spirits that they can summon, and they use those to fight as well as fighting themselves. And the brother's super badass. He's like a snipe shot with a bow and arrow. There's been like plenty of times in the manga so far, and it's only in like 8 chapters right now. There's been plenty of times where he's pulled a bow and just given that, that look in Full Metal when like somebody was like, "You're gonna die." That beautiful like one eye look. The rest of their face is just shaded off. It's just so badass. He is a great.
So badass. I'm eating candy to enjoy it. Yes.
Well, that's one. Yomi no Tsugai, definitely a must read, must get. A must watch that's coming out is going to be Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is so good. It was so good that it's basically this kid named Denji. He kind of wanders around, and in their world, there are demons that just exist, and they take the form of many different things. There's the things like the sword demon. There's the mail demon. There is like mail, like paper mail.
What the fuck?
The demons can take the personification of certain things. So the more feared that it is by humanity, and the more frightening that people are or frightened by, so like war and death, those kinds of demons become the most powerful. And there was this demon called the Gun Demon. And the Gun Demon was basically the most badass motherfucker around. And it demolished parts of, like, Japan. So this kid, Denji, going around, he hunts little demons for money to pay off a debt. One day he gets betrayed, and he gets murdered, and he has this little, like, dog companion that has a chainsaw on its head. One day he gets murdered, dropped into I won't spoil what else, but basically he signs a contract with his devil and becomes the Chainsaw Man. And from there, the story sets off, and it's a very bloody, gory, dark romp down all sorts of weird, twisted shit. Like, if you think of Berserk, and you think of how dark that was, this doesn't get to that level. But it comes damn near close with the topics and, like, the underlying, like, plots that they're trying to play you with in that series. The second part just started republication, or it started serialization, I'm sorry, about 2 months ago? Like 2 months ago, I think. And so the second part has started already in manga, but the anime is coming out this year. Or is it 2023? Maybe it's 2023. I think it's 23. But when it comes out, it's going to be a hit. It's going to be super good. I believe the studio that did Attack on Titan is also doing it. I'm going to just double check that.
Fuck, I just had a thought and it went away. Like, upcoming.
Oh, it's this fall.
That would be cool.
That's a year wrong. It comes out this fall, and the studio that is putting it out is Mappa. Yeah, Mappa. Same people who did Attack on Titan. Excuse me. The same people who do the Demon Slayer. What else did they do? Apparently they did Ushio and Tora. I did not know that. Interesting. Oh, they did Zombieland Saga too. Huh. What do you know?
More. Never watched that.
There's a lot of animes you need to watch, honestly.
I have animes and movies to both get through. So,
what anime do you have coming next that you have to get through?
Q Psychopath season 2, because I stopped after season 1 because of what happened to one of the characters.
Season 1 was so good.
It was, and then I started watching 2, and I'm like, okay, I'm not that interested anymore.
I'll tell you this. I got through season 2. It was a little bit of a slog in the first couple episodes, but once you get to like episode 4, it kind of starts to pick up a little bit more and give you that same Psychopath feel. And the twists that come throughout the season are more than good enough to be a follow-up. Not as good as the first season, but it is not bad.
I have something to add after the third prompt, and that is anime you're excited for that's coming out. So anyway, continue.
Well, I already plugged Chainsaw Man, but that's fair.
That's not underrated because it hasn't come out yet. So it's like, okay, you need to see this, but we can't watch it because it hasn't come out yet.
It hasn't come out yet, though. It doesn't come out till fall.
That's what I'm saying. You're telling this.
Got you.
The prompt is, what is something someone should watch? It's not even out yet to watch.
That's fair.
So for me, what would become? I can just plug this in before that. What am I most excited for? Bleach, fucking finally returning. Yes, because I want to see what he can do without the limitations of a time lock. That's why he fucked up the last arc. He ran out of time.
Allegedly, he just gave up on the story altogether. He just stopped caring about Bleach and said, "Fuck it."
That too. He was running out of time. People were ushering him to hurry up and keep finishing it, and he's just like, "I don't fucking care." So he just put that out, and it became less interesting. But it's still more interesting than the Fullbringer arc, which is canon. Unfortunately, that is the worst fucking arc ever in anime that I've ever witnessed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? The Garlic Jr. saga is more interesting than that shit, and that's not canon.
Don't you talk shit about the Garlic Jr. saga. That was a great saga.
Yeah, because we watched it every fucking day for like 3 years Saturday morning because they would fucking rerun it.
Yeah, they did. It was between Frieza and Cell, right?
No. It was between Frieza and Cell.
Yeah,
Frieza,
it was after they came back.
And the androids. Wait, I gotta plug one more.
Right. Go ahead.
Panty and Stocking season 2. I'm really excited for that because I've been fucking waiting for years. That is the most vulgar thing I've ever watched in animation.
Really?
Besides Adult Swim stuff, and I just need more of that. I need more of that.
I haven't watched it before just because the way it was drawn, it made me think it was just a little kid show. So I was like, oh, whatever.
You're gonna laugh your ass off within the first 5 minutes.
I'll put that on tonight. You know what? After we're done with this, I'm definitely gonna put that one on and give it a shot.
You're gonna tell me it's fucking great.
I hope so. You love it. You talk about it all the time whenever I bring up stuff like this.
It's the funniest shit ever. It really is. How vulgar they are. I love it.
All right. So those are the two. There was a third one. Was it that?
Yeah, there was.
Oh yeah.
All right.
So here's the one that I definitely 100%. This has got my full backing. You need to
go watch
this. It is out. It's completed. It's called The Ancient Magus Bride. It is a fantasy. It's a fantasy. How would you call it? It's a fantasy romance suspense show. It's got 24 episodes. Basically, a girl is found by what would you call him? A sorcerer? Yeah, sorcerer. Mm-hmm. And she's kind of like homeless, just doesn't have anywhere to be. And the sorcerer takes her in, and it's basically the story of how the girl starts being introduced to the world of magic and fantasy, and she becomes so enamored with everything and seeing how people treat her, and she changes over time through the series, and she starts to, like, you know, obviously starts to gain feelings for the sorcerer, and it's just a really, really well done story. I loved it since I watched it all the way through, or I not watched it all the way through immediately, but I kept up with it when it was coming out, and it was one of the anime that I looked forward to every week. I was like, yeah, watching this could be cool, watching that could be cool, but I gotta watch this one. I was there as soon as the simulcast was up on Crunchyroll. Damn. I was waiting for it. I had my alarm set. That way, if I knew if I wasn't going to be home, I could watch it on my fucking phone. I love that anime. It is one of the lesser known and less talked about ones, but it is worth any praise that anyone gives it. It is super good. It's on Crunchyroll, all 24 episodes. Definitely.
Is it dub?
I believe there's a couple dubs. I think they did the multi-dub treatment for it, but if not, it is in English and Japanese.
Nice.
Not like the Saga of Evil, the Saga of Tanya the Evil.
That's a great one.
It is. Did you watch the movie? I didn't know there was a movie. There's a movie that continues.
English.
It's canon. It came out in 2019.
It's not in English. It's in Japanese only. So I'm not going to watch it.
No, they do have it in English, I think. I was looking on Crunchyroll. There's like 3 or 4 different dubs of it. I just didn't look for the right one.
I think I've seen it then, yeah. But I love it, and I want a second season.
Yeah, well, keep your fingers crossed.
just like Drifters, I want a fucking second season. That I saw that sub
good.
because our friend Justin, when I was over there token, he just threw it on the TV and he's like, "See, you're gonna watch this," and I fucking sat there. I'm like, "Oh my fucking god!"
I like how Justin didn't even give you like a choice. He's like, "See, you're watching this."
He did that with The Dark Knight Returns, and I'm like, "Okay, this is the greatest animated movie I've ever seen. It really is."
Dark Knight Returns
Batman
is one of
versus
the best.
Superman should have been
Definitely one of the better Batman stories that's out there.
Well, yeah, but I actually have a couple more to add to underrated anime that people either don't know or talk shit about. One is Angels of Death. My friend Sparky told me about this anime called Angels of Death, which is it's a psychological mindfuck in a lot of ways because you're dropped into a mystery about how what's going on with the main character. This main character's in this building. It's a rundown building, and immediately you're chased by this guy who wants to kill her, and then he corners her. Like, I'm just giving a little spoiler to pull people in. He corners her and he's like, "I'm going to kill you," and she's like, "But you're not scared." And he's getting pissed off. He's like, "Why aren't you scared?" It's like, "I'm not afraid to die." And he's just like, "Well, then I'm not going to kill you because it's not fun." And so she comes to an agreement. She comes to an agreement with him in the sense of he gets to kill her with like a smile on her face if she can help, if she can get help out of the building. If he can help her protect her. But each floor has a specified person who's going to try to kill her, who's trying to escape the building. Hence the name's Angels of Death. These angels are guarding each of the floors, and she has to escape the building. So that's a really weird and far out there anime that I think was pretty good watch. Just like Space Dandy. I fucking love Space Dandy. I knew as soon as it came out, it was going to be great. It's definitely like watching an acid trip, even though I've never had acid. But I watched it and I'm like, this is the weirdest fucking shit I've ever seen. But I love it because it's made by the Cowboy Bebop studio.
Yeah.
And everyone else who watched it fucking hated it because they were expecting Cowboy Bebop. And even though it's clearly stated, it's a fucking comedy and it's meant to exaggerate and be a parody of a lot of things. They throw so many puns and references in there. I love it. Like, there's a fucking restaurant called Boobies, which is a pun on fucking Hooters. But the focus of the main character is on butts. He likes butts, not tits. Because he just likes a good butt. And I'm like, see, that whole thing, that's just creative. In my opinion. I think it's great. And the animation is actually not too bad. It's very exaggerated in some aspects. Like, there's a whole fucking episode where he goes to this planet and the plants are fucking the living beings, and the animation is great because it's fucking plants. And I'm like, I've never seen talking plants before. So yeah, those are two that I just automatically remember that are really good for underrated anime.
That's fair. I know Space Dandy doesn't get the credit it deserves. I know a lot of people talk about it, but I just never got into it. I think at the time I wanted something more serious. That might have been when I did a reread of Berserk.
As most people,
I wanted,
But anywho.
But nonetheless, that's not bad. That's not bad. Those are some pretty good things. So, folks, while we take this moment to think about it, go watch, please.
Yeah.
We're giving you some. We're giving them some heartfelt stuff, some real good things, and if nobody watches them, what the fuck's the point?
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you?
So go watch them. Watch them for us. For the sake of our sanity.
For the titties.
Let's move on, Sniffles. Let's move on. Let's get the anime.
The last part out.
Last one. Let's do this. This is the one that's going to take a little bit of thinking. A lot of thinking. A lot of it.
Good thing I have the internet open.
Okay. Here we go. We're going to rank our top 5. This top 5 list is not indicative of the company as a whole. FTG does not endorse the full length of this list because the other people who were supposed to be here to help us figure this out aren't here. So we're going to call this the mini list, and this is going to be the placement list for now until we have another anime episode because there's so much coming out sometime soon that we're going to need to talk about anime again very, very soon.
Yeah.
So let's just start it off with, I guess we should probably think. Let's put together a list of 10 right now, and I'll give you my 5. I can give you my 5 right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with, and this encompasses movies. This encompasses everything. This is anime as a whole, from beginning to end.
Okay.
And no Pacific.
Pacific again? You did this last time.
Hey man, I've had a long day. All right, I've been doing stuff all day. So
I haven't done shit all day except lift weights. I can lift your body weight now. So hurry up.
we'll have to talk about this later. Anyways,
Yeah.
here's my 5. I'm gonna put them on the board. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Berserk, Akira. Oh shit! I just had a brain fart.
Puta madre.
Oh, I had it too. Damn.
Bruh.
What were my other 2? My brain is just hurting. So there's 3 of them.
The obvious is. You already talked about it earlier.
I said Berserk. I said Full Metal.
No. There's another one. How do you not know? This is one of the gateway anime. Say it.
Dragon Ball?
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop. You're right.
Duh.
Cowboy Bebop.
That is
Okay, so we're for sure gonna sit on Cowboy Bebop being in there.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop's for sure in the top 5. What was
Yeah.
the other one though? I was literally just thinking about it, and it wasn't
Tell me.
Oh! You're lying, April.
I guess I haven't seen it yet. I've told you why, but
Yeah. Your Lion April is not for the faint of heart.
It's so goddamn depressing. I started watching it. I actually started watching it the way I fucked up my viewing experience when I tried to watch it because I watched Clannad and then I watched Angel Beats and then I watched Your Lion April and I was like, this was a bad idea.
Angel Beats was not as depressing as the other ones.
I still cried.
I still cried. I cried at the very end, but like it wasn't as depressing as other ones. Have you ever watched Anohana?
Nope.
It's 11 episodes long. It's about a ghost girl that comes back to her friends years after her death and tries to get them all to get back together so she can talk to them and be like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. It hurts so much. I cry every time I watch that anime.
I'm surprised you haven't mentioned Fooly Cooly at all.
You know, Fooly Cooly is an honorable mention, but I don't know if it makes the top 5. Or I don't know if it doesn't make my top 5. It's in my top 10, but it doesn't make my top 5.
Okay, fair enough.
So we can make arguments for it, but let me write those down, at least for now. Oop. Oh, nobody heard me.
Heard you what?
Type. Da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Berserk. Fucking
That's
Guts' theme song. I listened to that fucking theme song for like a whole goddamn day when we were past. I was like, no. Damn.
Wait, which one? Which theme song?
From the TV show. Guts' theme.
Which one?
The TV show called Berserk.
There were
24 episodes.
There were 3.
No. The other ones are called 2016 and 2017. This one's just called Berserk.
Okay, so the 1980 version.
Yes, that one.
There we go.
That's one everyone should watch first. Then watch the Golden Egg arc, and then watch 2016-17.
You're kind of right. Just because at the end of the original Berserk, there was a little bit of foray into stuff after.
Well, they should watch it just to appreciate the 90s of it, even though it's not as good as the Golden Egg
arc. It was a good animation.
Total CGI, but that's not shitty CGI.
No, they did it really well.
Yeah.
Well,
it did it better than the
2016-2017.
I'm still waiting for Netflix to fucking bring it back, or bring Berserk.
They need to bring a second season of Dorohedoro. That one's good.
I still need to watch that. I know that's gory.
Oh, I love that. So good. Anyways, so I put my 5. What do you got?
Well, I was going to also say Cowboy Bebop.
Okay,
and
so Cowboy
I was going to say
Advances
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Full Metal. Advances for sure.
Yeah, and then now I got to really... Oh, Made in Abyss.
Okay.
That's one of the best I've ever seen because when I watch it, I didn't know what the fuck to expect. I was like, oh, it looks really pretty. I love the pretty backgrounds. Reminds me of Miyazaki stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you get into the couple later episodes and you're like, And then you get to the movie and you're like, what the fuck? It has the greatest fucking anime villain I have ever fucking seen. Simply because of how goddamn nuts he is. I can't spoil anything, but for example, he's like, I mean, he is a scientist. He's one of the scientists, one of the kind of scientists that does everything he can for the purpose of science.
That's
and
good scientist.
Everything else out the window.
Can't
Human morals, human emotions. He's like, nope, I'm going to do this for science. And that's what makes him fucking scary. But especially the stuff he does, which I won't tell because people need to watch the goddamn movie. Season 2 is already out and I heard is really fucking good.
Scarier than Makishima.
I don't know what that is, but...
Psychopath.
Okay, just say Psychopath. Anyway, Psychopath isn't really scary. It's like Minority Report. That's not scary.
Makishima is basically the Joker of that world.
Yeah.
He exists to exist.
Anyway, other top anime. I'd have to go with Spirited Away. Just because it's Miyazaki. You gotta have Miyazaki in the top 10. It's brilliant. Yeah. It's brilliant. And I watched for the first time when COVID hit. I'm like, you know what? I should watch all these fucking movies. I did, and I'm like, this is what I fucking been missing out on all these years when everyone else was watching this shit in like high school or college, whatever. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it. It looks weird. And then I saw a clip of Spirited Away in college during my film class. He showed the scene where the main character goes to get food. And then, it's just weird because there's like pigs sitting there at the table. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? But all the intricacies, the little details of what's going on, and like it all just meshes together. I'm like, this is perfect. And it's all hand drawn. So I'm just like, okay, this is really good. So that would be number 4, I guess, since I already mentioned another 3. And then I guess number 5 for what I think greatest anime of all time. That's a really tough one. I don't fucking know what would fit in there.
What has touched you in a way that no one's touched you before? Not even the priest from that old school.
I never went to school with a priest, so that doesn't apply here. But anyway, shit, you know what? This, for me, just because of how successful it is and how people constantly just go back, you've had people react to this when the episodes came out. There were reaction videos in countries with crowds watching this episode happen, the special episode happen. And I'm talking about the entirety of Dragon Ball. Because it brings the fucking world together. It may not have the greatest story ever, like fucking Cowboy Bebop, or Made in Abyss, or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, about 2 brothers getting their bodies back. It may not be about that. It may have the stupidest story ever imaginable, but it's so powerful. It is the damn granddaddy of all anime at this fucking point, even though fucking Astro Boy was the first one made, and that, still... Nothing brings the world together like fucking Dragon Ball. Like when Goku went Ultra Instinct, and when the final episode aired, I saw clips, reactions from Japan, reactions from Mexico, from fucking over here. People were just like, yeah! Like, I've never seen that for any other fucking anime. And the box office success of Battle of the Gods, Resurrection F, and Broly fucking... speak for itself. You don't have any other anime that's that powerful on humans for, both our generation and later generations. I didn't really get into Dragon Ball, which I know a lot of people are like, what the fuck? I started with Dragon Ball Z. The first episode I watched is my favorite still to this day, episode 24, Goku versus Vegeta. And that was an amazing fucking episode, and that showed me the main character is not the best because he doesn't always win. He lost to Vegeta. He needed help from Krillin. He needed help from Yajirobe and Gohan. Blah blah. He needed help from Yajirobe and everyone else. And Vegeta still wasn't dead. He still didn't. He could crawl back to his spaceship where Goku was basically, he was rendered immobile. He couldn't fucking get off the goddamn ground. Where Vegeta could still crawl to his spaceship. That was incredible. Not like today, where everything is completely just, multiplied times fucking infinity and whatever, and you lost a bit of that power and touch and emotion from the old series, leading all the way up until the Frieza saga. Because the greatest moment in all anime history is Goku turning Super Saiyan,
Yeah.
and no one's gonna call me a liar on that. Because when everyone saw that for the first time, when they read, the announcer, legendary Super Saiyan, we're like, what? We see it. Krillin gets exploded. You hear Bruce Falconer's soundtrack kick in. You get goosebumps. You see the lightning. Goku, Sean Schmel's just getting insane, and he transforms. You're like, holy shit! What? He's real. No other anime moment can ever top that. So Dragon Ball has to make the top 10, in my opinion, for those reasons.
We're gonna go Dragon Ball full series.
Yep.
Because
that includes GT.
That does include GT, which surprisingly I actually like.
Okay, this is why we're cousins.
Canon, it may not be the greatest story in the world, but I liked it for what it was because it was a different take on what Dragon Ball would be. That futuresque kind of space travel kind of thing just got you got to see more of what the universe of Dragon Ball was like that way. And now it doesn't exist. It's the same thing with the extended universe for Star Wars. Now that Disney owns it, it's fucking all dead.
Yeah. I personally liked GT more because, well, when it got to the Black Star Dragon Ball series, actually just all of it, what was Dragon Ball about? The Dragon Balls. We lost that when we got to the fucking Cell games. After Frieza, like the whole part of Frieza and all that was to find the Dragon Balls and, stop him from making that wish and all this other shit because he wanted to become immortal, because he heard it over the Scouter and all this other shit. And then what happens to Cell? It's like they're fucking thrown out the window. They use the Dragon Balls to bring people back to life, but that's not the focus anymore. It's saving the world and all this stuff, which I get, that's important to the story, but then you go to the Buu Saga, the Dragon Balls are still like a minuscule character. Yeah. GT takes it to a whole other level. It gives you a consequence for making all those wishes. You wish too many times, you're going to create negative energy, cracking the balls, creating the 7 Black Star Dragons. And that was a really good arc, in my opinion, because of that reason. It gave a reason not to make those wishes, and maybe sometimes you just gotta let things play out. But then Super fucking comes out, and they have those Super Dragon Balls that basically have no fucking limitation on the wishes. And now they have the Granola arc, which has similar powers, but with consequences into shortening your life if you want to be the strongest in the universe, which Granola and Gas do.
Yeah.
So, that's why I like GT.
To speak on that, I see a lot, surprisingly, of parallels between the Baby Saga from GT and the current Granola Cerealian Saga. I don't.
It's the Granola arc.
Granola arc. Whatever it is. Granola arc and
Nature Valley
and the Baby arc are both very similar in a sense. Yes. It was the story. That's what I liked about it. It was the story of Saiyans came and destroyed my people. So now I want revenge. Like, I actually like that story. That story's really fucking cool. The way that they did it in the Baby arc was a lot cooler. But, I got to see some more perfected Ultra Instinct or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
so I'm happy with that. And now Frieza's black, so, he got the...
He's hood certified, according to Sean, our friend. Yeah. It's hood certified. I quote, what he said... He forced his way into the cookout. So
Frieza forced his way into the cookout. Actually, it's true.
Not going to elaborate on that for racial reasons, but y'all can figure out what that means. So
all right, so we've got our set here. It looks like we got a full 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
12.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, that's right. 1. Yeah. We got a full 10 here from both sides. The 2 for sure is moving onward are Cowboy Bebop and Full Metal. Spirited Away, I'm honestly very, very tempted. I'm like leaning on the side of pushing that to the top 5 just because of its story. Not to mention its animation and everything else, but just the story of it, that coming of age story with Chihiro, Sen, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
It was just a really good story. And I watched that as a kid when I was really young and it came out in the theaters, I begged my dad to take me go see it. I didn't understand what that movie was about at the time, but as I got older and rewatched it a bunch of times, I can see the real true value in that movie and its story. And I don't want to spoil anything for it for people who haven't seen it because it's an amazing thing. That's something you have to actually like experience for yourself. So
yeah, my first was actually Kiki's Delivery Service. I rented it because I saw an anime and I watched it and I'm like, this is actually very pretty. And I kept renting it to enjoy more of it. But I was gonna say, because you were saying Spirit Away, I was gonna make a comment. Almost everybody who watches anime thinks that's one of the greatest ever made.
Yeah.
That is their favorite Miyazaki one, except for my gym coach. No, sorry, except for this pastor I met yesterday, and who's really cool. He's in the anime, but he actually liked Nausicaa, which that's a good one too.
Nausicaa's good.
Yeah, Nausicaa. There you go. That one's a really good one too. It's very pretty. I love that one. So those are the only occasions I heard where something else, was different than Spirited Away. But yeah.
I actually agree with most of what you said.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't agree with is that it's my favorite Miyazaki film.
Surprisingly. What is then?
This might sound weird.
Howl's Moving Castle?
No. That's Patty's. Oh. Patty loves Howl's Moving Castle. She
Totoro?
Loves it. Huh?
Please don't say hold on. Totoro?
No. Totoro's cool, but for a dark reason. And we'll figure that one out after we're done with this. I'll explain that. But yeah. My favorite is actually The Cat Returns.
Never saw that.
That one's good. It's short. It's really short. Very simple. To the point. Girl finds a cat, saves a cat that almost gets run over by a car. Cat goes away. She goes back to her home. The next day, a parade of cats comes marching down the street with like banners, like full on like kings and glory shit, and gets to her house and says, "You saved the prince. The king has requested that you come to the kingdom." Blah 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 blah. And it's basically this girl goes to the cat kingdom. She gets transported there. She hires a great detective, which is the cat analog of Sherlock Holmes, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just a really fun movie. It's super light. It's not heavy. It's a good, it reminds me of those old Disney movies that no one seems to remember, like The Rescuers Down Under, or...
Oh, I love that.
That's
a great...
Or well, maybe not The Black Cauldron. That was a little dark. But,
I've seen that once.
Fox and the Hound, Jungle Book.
Fox and the Hound. That was one of my favorites.
The older ones. The ones that were not so crazy, but, the less popular ones. But yeah, The Cat Returns is basically Miyazaki's version of a Disney movie, and it does everything a Disney movie should do, but better. It's got comedy, it's got stakes, it's got a good time. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
If I had to choose a second runner-up for that one, though, I would probably say Tales from Earthsea. That one was really cool. That one's a good one.
Never heard of that either.
That one, it's been a while since I watched it. I have the disc bundle of all of them right here. So I might actually go watch that tonight now. Nice. But basically it's about this guy, this older dude, and he goes on a journey with this kid. And through the journey, they start learning more and more about the world, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
It's a really good story. And of the Miyazaki films, I would say those are my preferred ones. The first one I watched was Princess Mononoke, though.
That's a good one, too.
Yeah, I saw that one by accident. It was super cool.
I still need to watch... You see, we're going on the list of what animes that need to be watched and all these other... I still need to watch fucking Grave of the Fireflies and Wolf Rain.
Oof. You know what?
In terms of tearjerkers.
Wolf Rain's really good. It's not a tearjerker. It's just really political. It's a very political movie, I guess you could say. It has very stiff standpoints on military power, you should say.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It's a really good story. I love it. It's actually one of my favorites, too. But let's get back to this.
Yes.
So, here we go. We've got 3 in the running for top 5. Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal, and Spirited Away. I won't push it through because it is a good movie and it should be. It deserves to be top 5 at the least.
Holy crap, Discord's cutting out your audio.
Oh, it's probably because I was staring the wrong way.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's not my fault. Let me bring this back over here.
I can't fucking hear you.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So, we've got Akira, Berserk, Your Lie in April, Made in Abyss, and Dragon Ball. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I don't know if Dragon Ball makes the top 5 against the rest of this group. And here's my reasoning. Your Lie in April has substance and animation and a soundtrack. That one is standout. No matter what you do, no matter who you are, Your Lie in April is, even in size, more palatable than all of Dragon Ball.
Okay, go on.
It's personable. It's a human story, which makes it, easy for people to digest and connect to, as opposed to fighting aliens.
Yeah, which I did see that Dragon Ball does have a shitty story. It's not the best story.
But then you've got Dragon Ball versus the rest of them. Versus Akira. Akira is, maybe it doesn't make the top 5. I personally put it in my top 5, but I think it is the precipice at which animation in anime started to become better. It started to become epic.
Yeah.
Not only was it a really good sci-fi story, cyberpunk kind of story, but everything about it was just insane. It was over the top all the way through. From beginning to end, there was nothing about that movie that was like, no, we can take it down to level 5. No, we're going to stay at 11 the whole fucking way.
I didn't hear a word you said because it cut out the audio.
I need to put Nitro on the fucking Discord.
You do, or something. I don't know. But
I'll do it after we're done recording.
Are you using noise suppression?
Maybe.
That might be a reason why. So turn that off and see what happens.
If I turn it off, how does it sound now? Yeah.
You sound the same.
Sounds the same? Okay, well.
I'll let you know if it cuts out.
Okay. Still working the kinks out, folks. No one here is an audio professional, so
nope.
Don't judge us for these problems. You're going to get them for a while.
Another reason why I put Dragon Ball on the list, too, is because any single fucking human on the planet can fucking tell you what the hell that is. Versus Akira and all the other previously mentioned ones like Your Lie in April. Nobody's gonna know what the fuck that is unless they're into anime.
Yeah.
So it's not as I mean the only other anime that's that powerful is like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh or
brand recognition.
Like Pokemon, but no one's brought together for Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon. They're only brought together for Dragon Ball.
That's fair.
Because those have had movies, but they weren't as powerful in effect as Dragon Ball. So that's why I'm throwing that in there because it reaches out to even the non-weeb people. They'll still love that.
Okay, we'll circle back to Dragon Ball. Points are being made. Made in Abyss. So, Made in Abyss is a good story.
Yeah.
I personally haven't watched it. You've told me about it many times.
I thought you said you have watched it.
No. I said I haven't watched it.
You fucking said you have watched it. Oh my god.
I didn't say I watched it.
You said that when we hung out at your birthday last year. Yeah.
I don't know if you were all there.
I was all there that day. I had to be.
You know what I mean?
No, I was all there.
I don't remember saying that.
The rest of y'all weren't all there.
That is also possibly true.
So I had to drive home. So, yeah, I can't do that.
I gave you the offer to just sleep for the night.
I had to work.
Fair. So, Made in Abyss versus the other 4. I know you haven't seen Your Lie in April. How does Made in Abyss stand up to Berserk in total?
Berserk is better because it has the bromance of Griffith and Guts, and you feel bad about what happened between the two of them. Whereas Made in Abyss, you're watching children go through this
turbulence,
god awful fucking trek into hell looking for the main character's mother because she's just like, I want to find my mom because I haven't seen her in a long time, but the experiences they experience on the way, this shouldn't be happening to fucking children. It's so insane. I'm trying not to spoil anything severe, but if I had to pick one out of the two, story-wise, Berserk is better.
Okay.
But the horror-wise and like, I'd have to go with Made in Abyss because
really.
I haven't read the manga, but I've seen all the gory stuff from the anime. It's still like it's the simple fact of this shouldn't be happening to kids in terms of what's happening. And because I told you the greatest anime villain is in this fucking anime.
Okay.
It's Bondrewd. You can't find anyone as evil as that. He's more evil than fucking Palpatine, for crying out loud. It's ridiculous.
Okay, all right. So we're making points. So would you say that Berserk moves on past these other ones for sure, hands down?
Yes.
Okay. Berserk moves on. We're almost done. We just got to pick one.
I know.
Our last four here to complete the top 5, and then we will number them, are Akira, July and April, Made in Abyss, and Dragon Ball. So what do you think? Let's compare them. Let's start comparing them. I don't want to drag you out too long or anything.
Well,
after the 30 minutes that I made you do it already.
Kind of fucking are. Jesus.
All right. The difficulty in this is that both of us have not watched July in April or Made in Abyss.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
So, like, for those ones,
use that.
I feel like they can, I do feel like they cancel out, which sucks because July in April is so good.
Same Made in Abyss.
And it makes me really sad because it's the only slice of life anime on this fucking list.
I know, right? There's no Clan here. Fuck.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know.
I cried at a different reason in Clanad. I didn't cry for the main fucking reason everyone else did. I cried for the what if stories. I was like, this could have happened. I'm like, oh god, it was so sad. Like, what the fuck? And people are like, why did you cry at that? Because it's the worst. It didn't happen.
Honestly, the what if situations are what makes, in my opinion, the slice of life anime so bad. Not bad as in like bad, but like bad as in like painful to watch.
Oh yeah,
because it's just like, what if that one thing just hadn't happened? Everything would have been fine. Everyone would have been okay. Why do I have to suffer?
the cat episode.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, god damn it, that poor girl.
It's tough, man.
It is.
We could actually probably do a whole episode about slice of life anime, but that's a
if you want tears to happen,
a massive emotional wreck.
I know, right? That's why I haven't watched any slice of life in years.
Yeah,
I'm still traumatized by that shit.
That's fair. All right, then we'll mark out. We'll have to mark them both out then. So now it's between
Dragon Ball
and Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Because we both watched both. I want to say Akira still, just because of its actual like fundamental change to anime that it had.
I'm gonna have to agree with you. Like like okay, but then
don't get me wrong.
Dragon Ball also had a fundamental change to anime.
It did.
It's the one that brought it over to the West, and the Pokemon was already here, but it wasn't that big. Dragon Ball came over, bam! Everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?" And everyone, I flipped through the channels. I'm like, oh my god, found Goku versus Vegeta. Started talking about it to the kids at school. They started fucking watching it instead of watching Pokemon. And it just exploded from there. I don't think any other fucking anime has done that. That's why I think in the all-encompassing aspect, Dragon Ball should have the spot. In the individual aspect, Akira should have the spot. Because alone, it's a really good thing by itself.
Yeah, it's standalone.
And what it's, yeah. But Dragon Ball as an influence over all anime and everything else I've previously mentioned, I think should take the spot for those reasons.
You make a good argument. What sucks is that I want to argue for Akira's case just because of how influential it was in its time, but again, I see the other side of that coin where Dragon Ball was massively influential to anime as a whole. Literally, like you said, bringing it over to the West, making things more mainstream in some sense, besides Pokemon. Because Pokemon didn't really have that. Yes, it's an anime, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't. It was a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, it was treated more as a cartoon than an anime.
Yeah, it didn't have this massively, this massive twist plot line that happens in certain episodes where you're like, no, like that doesn't happen. Like you said, Goku lost. He
the main character,
he died.
Usually, he died with
lost
the first season. You never have that happen in any other anime. Like, what? He got killed? It's like, what the fuck's gonna happen now?
And to be fair, it only is allowable in Dragon Ball because they have the means to resurrect people.
Exactly.
If you couldn't resurrect people, then obviously Goku never would have died.
Well, then there's Fairy Tail, where no one actually fucking dies.
Yeah. But I really
one
like
person
Fairy
is
Tail.
kind of dead. I liked it too,
It's one of my guilty pleasures
too.
because I like Rave Master, but Rave Master didn't really like catch me like Fairy Tail did.
Gashield's the best.
I was gonna say, did you ever watch or read Rave Master?
No, I didn't know it existed until I finished watching Fairy Tail.
Got it.
And I still need to watch Eden Zero, which apparently is the same thing, but it's better than Fairy Tail.
That is what I've heard, but it's so hard for me to put my time into something like that again.
Yeah.
At least for something that's gonna be like Fairy Tail. It's the same fucking characters.
Same fucking character, and they have Happy in there. It's like, okay, this guy is just like Deadpool. He just crosses over universes.
Bro, they all cross over universes in some way. It's a multiverse in that series.
Yeah.
So
so you still cut out. So I don't know why.
I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. Okay, so like I said, I want to argue Akira's case, but I have to agree with you that Dragon Ball actually does have a major influence on anime as a whole. So that, I think we can agree, Dragon Ball moves over to the top 5.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, our top 5. Not numbered yet. We're numbering them right now. Top 5, in no specific order. Dragon Ball, the full series, of course. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Super. Spirited Away, Full Metal Brotherhood, Berserk, Cowboy Bebop. Everyone give a round of applause for all the good anime that made it this far. It was only a list of 10. Next time we'll do an actual thing.
Yeah, we'll have more people to help bounce the ideas off of.
Not only will we have more people for it, but maybe we'll do like a bracket system, like tournament style, where everything goes up against a different thing. We'll randomize it, and then, outcomes.
I need to pee, so...
Yeah. All right.
I don't have a pee cup with me yet,
That's gross. So...
I don't.
Here we go.
Yeah.
How would you number these? What are you thinking?
Cowboy Bebop number 1. Sorry, Cowboy Bebop.
I don't know about that. That's the hard part. I honestly want to put Dragon Ball at 5 because I think that Dragon Ball made this list, but I think it barely made this list. Like I said, it is massively influential, but compared to these other series, in terms of everything, I think it is the weakest of the 5.
Well, that's why it's going to be number 5.
All right. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Dragon Ball series at number 5. Yeah. Number 4. What do we do with this one? This is a toss-up. Personally, and this hurts to say, I want to say Berserk deserves number 4.
Yeah, it's not as well known as everything else. Because like when you introduce people to anime, you're not going to say, "Hey, go watch Berserk." No, they don't want to see some fucking. You don't want to see some fantasy show that's going to have your fucking mind fucked in half. You don't want to. You don't want to introduce someone to that. Like whenever I introduce people to anime, it's either FMB or Bebop. Yeah. So Berserk should be number 4.
Yeah.
For that reason.
We'll go with that. That makes sense.
Number 3.
Like I said, I against my own personal opinion, it's just the darkness of the story. Everything else, like if the story's just not as bad in some parts, I
mean, it's still great. I'm happy that it's in the top 5 because it's about a guy who lost everything.
Yeah,
and he's going through fucking hell,
doing what he can to get things back, to fix things.
He's going through so much. People who can relate to that really fucking like this anime. So I'm happy with it being number 4, as dark as it is. Yeah.
All right, Berserk at number 4. Number 3, lucky number 3. What are we gonna do here?
Yeah.
What do you think? Give me your thoughts on this.
What was the third one? What was the other one besides Bebop and Full Metal?
Spirited Away.
I'm gonna have to put Full Metal at 3. Simply, I'm gonna have because I recommend that to people. But again, it's still that whole. It's really hard to bring people into anime when it's like far out there, and that's pretty far out there because it's alchemy. It's fucking magic basically, and it's like okay, there's. When I explain it to people, they're like, I don't know what this alchemy thing is, but then I have to, if I don't mention that, and I'm like, okay, it's about a story of 2 brothers trying to get their body back because they committed some, I'm going to say religious ritual, even though that's not the case. When they complete a ritual, and it goes awry.
Technically, it's their religion.
Yes, but when it goes awry, one loses the body, one loses a couple of his limbs.
Yeah.
It's more enticing to the new viewer. And I did this test with somebody at work. I didn't mention the alchemy thing until the very end.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." So they checked it out and they liked it. But I'm putting it number 3 because I still think Spirited Away and obviously Cowboy Bebop are better. Like Spirited Away, you just ask anybody in anime who's ever seen anime and is a weeb, not a casual goer, a weeb will say Spirited Away has to be in their top 5. It just is.
It is.
It's like one of the most rewatchable anime out there. So Full Metal Alchemist, I love you, but you're gonna have to sit at number 3 for me.
I'm gonna argue that one.
Okay.
I think Cowboy Bebop should sit at 3. For the reason that the story in Cowboy Bebop is an underlying plot line. The fact that Cowboy Bebop is an anthology and it is the journey of this group of people as they go through space dealing with everyone else's personal lives as a whole, it isn't as concise as the other two are in telling a story. Full Metal itself has a from A to B, or A to Z, I guess, A to Z, and it has reason for characters. Every character that comes into that series has a purpose. And whether or not they show it at the beginning, you don't know that, obviously. But every character that you come into contact with basically in that show that actually is a character comes back in some kind of way to be important to the story later on.
Because it's not episodic. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's episodic, but yeah, I know what you mean. So I argue that
episodic means they're not related.
Just because Spirited Away is hands down, I think it's got to be number 1 personally.
Really? Okay.
I think personally that it goes above Full Metal just because of what it is. Yes, Full Metal is my favorite, and on my list it is at number 1. But compared to Spirited Away in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't have that same. It does have a good story. It does have emotion to it, and it gives you that context throughout watching it. But to an average viewer, no one's going to sit through 64 episodes to get that story when you can just sit and watch Spirited Away and get the same effect. While Cowboy Bebop is shorter, the effect isn't the same because you're not getting all the parts at one time. So people who aren't super hyper-focused on Cowboy Bebop and watching it all the way through and analyzing every little thing that happens won't understand what's happening in certain episodes because of that. That's my biggest gripe with Cowboy Bebop for a person watching it. Don't get me wrong, it is still top 5. It is still on my list like that, but it just doesn't hit the same itch that I want from a story in anime. What do you think? Give me a counter argument.
I don't have one. That's the problem.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks because honestly it sucks.
Picking a favorite is always the hardest thing to do for anything.
Yeah.
Which is why I hate talking to people, because people are just like, I don't have a favorite anything. Which automatically makes you boring. No, trust me, I've met a lot of people who are like, I don't have a fucking favorite anything. Like, you're boring. Go away. I can't build a conversation off of you if you don't give me a favorite, or at least a couple favorites.
Yeah.
And most people are like, I don't fucking know. I like, all anime or whatever. I'm like, there are some people out there who don't. I know someone, I won't mention them, that don't fanboy or fangirl over anything.
Yeah.
No, they're just like, they're cool with it, but they're not like you and me that are going to be going to conventions and doing that kind of shit.
Going out of our way to find characters or people dressed up as the characters.
Or even finding out who the voice actor is. They're just like, they're like, it's cool to watch, and that's about it. But anywho.
Speaking of voice, in terms of voice actors, Steve Blum should be at the top of this list. Of all the people in these, he's the best.
Yes.
Best voice actor. Yeah, he's instantly recognizable in any role he does. So, sidebar, when it comes to these movies based by your voice actor, Cowboy Bebop takes number 1.
He's not my favorite, but yes, he's really good.
So yeah, what do you think?
Yeah,
give me your argument for top. Give me your argument for your top 3 so we can get this all wrapped up nice and neat.
Like a condom. I would say three is Cowboy Bebop, and then Full Metal, and then Spirited Away in that ascending order.
Yeah. You're not gonna try and fight for Full Metal to take top place?
No, because you made a good point.
I hate it when I make points.
Well, then you should shut up.
I would have allowed the fight for it. I was just being devil's advocate, but you're right. I'm right. You're right that I was right about that. Damn it. I don't want to.
Oh, I'm yawning. Fuck, it is 11. Oh, my Lord.
Maybe it is. All right, so there it is, folks. It's late. It took us 5 ever to do this, but there it is. Spirited Away. And as you can see by my shirt, I did not influence this decision at all.
Sure, right. Not at all.
Honest to God, Full Metal on my top 5, Full Metal's at top. Dragon Ball doesn't make my top 5.
Of course not.
Berserk takes position 2, actually, on my list. It goes Full Metal, Berserk, then, what is that one called? Oh, God, it's a manga, and I can't remember the name right now. Oyasumi Poon Poon. Good night, Poon Poon. That was crazy.
Later.
But that's other. We'll get to that one day.
Yeah.
So there, top 5. Number 1, Spirited Away. Number 2, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Number 3, Cowboy Bebop. Number 4, Berserk. And number 5, Dragon Ball as a series. Whew. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
Difficult.
That was very difficult.
But that's why we do this. It's fun.
It is. It's good to have these debates and conversation over said anime.
Next time, we will definitely have at least one more person in here so we get our third viewpoint.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
It'll give us a little bit more benefactor. It'll give us a little bit more leeway with the voting.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. So thank you for stopping by, Seeger. Thank you for joining me for this.
No problem, cuz.
And thank you, loyal viewers, for stopping by and listening to us ramble and rant. If you have any problems with anything we said, you can write us a letter. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but we'll figure it out. I'm just kidding. You can leave comments. You can, hit us up on the Linktree. We've got socials. You can get us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, access our Twitch. You can get access to where the podcast will be posted. And as a future reference, we are working on planning out our Patreon. We're working on our Patreon, and we're going to figure it out. We're going to let it stew for a little bit more, but we have a lot of really good ideas coming. We have a lot of really good shows that we can bring you down. A lot of little content that we're trying to work on. But one day we'll get there. That's not today. Today, we're just going to keep doing our podcast stuff. Again, this is the For the Geeks podcast, where once every other week, we get together to talk about stuff we like, stuff we love, and anything else we can think of. For anyone who's not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there. Follow us on all of our socials. Follow us on Twitch, where we also do daily streams, which will be taking place next week starting. If you like that, keep doing that. Keep following us. We love you for it. Thank you so much for your time. Seeger, if anyone wants to get in touch with you and have at it with your delectable editing skills, where can they find you?
You can find me at Seeger VFX on Instagram or at Seeger Plays for my Twitch channel. Twitch channel is the same name, twitch.tv/Seeger Plays. And Seeger Plays is also the handle for my Twitter. I'm at all of those socials.
Excellent. Sweet. So yeah, if you like that new intro video for the Geeks, he made it. Hit him up. He does good work. Other than that, thank you guys for listening. And remember, subs are better than dubs. Bye.
What the fuck was that?